Hi guys, today I'm going to tell you the story how the TCM failed on my stepdad's Mazda 3 for the second time. My name is Jeremy, this is Region Automotive, and let's get to work. Okay, so I will give you some information on how I knew the TCM failed the first time. This seems to be the most common failure, the most common codes that it gets. So we were getting codes, the engine light was on and the AT light, and we were getting codes for solenoid A and solenoid B failure. I normally don't like quote unquote throwing parts at a car, but like if it's giving you a hard code for the solenoids, I chose to replace them. I don't necessarily regret replacing them, but actually I don't at all, because I remember the solenoids were relatively low cost compared to the TCM. I think the solenoids were like 20, 30, 40 bucks a piece versus the TCM was like $600. So I wanted to, I wanted to rule out the solenoids before I replaced the TCM. But the second thing that I'm about to tell you should have indicated to me that it was the TCM and not the solenoids. So when we were driving the car, it'd be acting all weird. Like it'd be shifting sporadically, shifting hard, sometimes not shifting at all. So yeah, that's why I thought like maybe the solenoids were stuck or whatever. They weren't functioning properly. They're functioning intermittently. But anyway, so we figured out when we cleared the codes, the car ran perfect, just fine. Even like we would be driving and the transmission would be acting up. Then he would clear the codes as he was driving and it'd go back to driving normal. So that pretty much told me that there was a computer issue, because if there was a physical problem, like if the solenoids were like actually failed, if there's a broken wire or valve body or bad clutch or whatever, if it was like a hard broken part, it would have done it all the time. But since we cleared the codes and the car ran just fine, that indicated to me that it's most likely the TCM. So we ended up ordering the TCM for the first time, put it in, that fixed our problem, and it worked for about 12, 14 months. And then the second time we were having issues, we were just having the AT light coming on. And I think I was getting a code for shift position or something. And, like I remember the indicator there, like the lights on the indicator was like flashing on and off, like it was flashing sporadically. Sometimes I'd drive it in manual, it'd work fine. Sometimes I'd drive it in drive, it'd work for a few minutes and then it'd go in limp mode. So again, I preemptively replace the neutral safety switch because that tells the TCM what gear the transmission is physically in. Replace that, nothing changed. Again, there's a cheap part is worth trying, is like 20 or 30 bucks or something. And for me, again, I kind of figured we had a computer failure because it was doing it intermittently. And like, again, like it didn't seem like it was a single issue that was causing, like it just, it seemed like the computer was crapping the bed. Like I said, the lights were flicking on and off. It wouldn't go in reverse. Sometimes it'd work in manual. Sometimes it'd work in drive. Like if it was like, again, a single broken wire or a single broken part, I feel like I would have had the same issue every time I used the car. But it's so sporadic and there's so many different little kind of electrical gremlins. I figured that the TCM was bad the second time. So I ended up taking it out and sending it to where I bought it from to get it warrantied. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys, if you want to see more detailed DIY and diagnostic videos like this one. All right, I have the old TCM taken out already, and then I sent it to a company in Canada. They're located in Quebec, Canada, called Module Pro, that rebuilds the modules. I found that was the most cost-effective option from a reliable source. Like there's some cheapies on Amazon, like they're way too cheap for what they were, so I didn't quite trust them. And then the dealership, I don't remember how much it was, is over $1,000 for sure. These guys, I think they're like $500 or $600. I have the car disassembled here when I got the old module out. So it's really it's not that bad to get, to be honest. Like if you're quick, you can get it out in like 10, 15 minutes. So, you have the battery here. Battery has 2 hold downs. So take the hold downs off, take the battery out. You'll have the ECM will be clipped to like a plastic shield on the battery tray. So I found it's easiest just to disconnect the ECM and then take that whole tray out. I'll show every step as I put everything back together. I'm just describing how to get it apart. And then the clips on the ECM, and this is the same for the TCM. It has like these slide disconnect things. So I found I had to like stick a screwdriver under there to get that tab down. And then I slid the white clip back there and it just slid right off. So there's 2 connectors for the ECM. Take that shield off with the ECM on it. And then you have a few 10mm bolts to get the battery tray out. Once you get the battery tray out, that's all the disassembly you have to do under the engine bay to get to the computer. And then the computer, I think I disconnected the plug afterwards. That would make sense. So yeah, same thing. You just kind of push the tab down there. I actually can push that down with my thumb and then push that white slide thing back, and then it'll slide the clip right off. And then the TCM, you have 3 10mm, well, I guess 2 10mm bolts and then 1 10mm nut holding it on. So these 2 bolts have to come out completely. And then this nut you loosen off and it has a little sliding tab thing there. So once you loosen it off enough, the TCM will just slide right out. Yeah, and so the TCM is kind of located on top of the transmission there. You can see where the 1 bolt hole is. It's a little tight, but it wasn't too bad. Like I just had to mess around with 1/4-inch ratchet with 10mm sockets, and then I think I ended up using like a 10mm ratcheting wrench. But again, it is possible to get the bolts out without taking all this crap apart. And then yeah, so just mess around and get those bolts out, move the TCM out, and then unplug it, and there's your TCM. So to try to prevent this thing from failing so early again, we're actually going to do the method. We did a bit of research online and we found that guys actually zip tie the TCM to the brake lines there. And the reason why is apparently heat from the transmission goes into the TCM, and that's what ends up cooking it. So if you zip line it to the brake lines, then it's away from that heat. And I can tell that was the issue we had with the last one, because like you'll see this silicone or whatever resin is clear, like perfectly clear, and you actually can see the circuit board. On my last one that failed, this was all brown. Like it looked like it got a lot of heat, and like is enough heat to char the resin brown or whatever. So who knows what part of the TCM failed. But the reason why I put the first one on the transmission is because I think the one that failed was the original TCM, and we did this a year ago. So I think it's a 2008 car. It would have been like 2023, 2022. So, you know, it lasted 14, 15 years. So I'm like, okay, the first TCM lasted 15 years. I'll just put it in its factory mounting locations. And then it ended up failing after a year. And you could tell that it saw quite a bit of heat, like I said. So we're going to zip tie it to the brake lines, like some guys recommend online, to prolong the life of the TCM. Okay, so I have the TCM plugged in there, and I have it nicely zip tied to the brake lines. I forgot that I actually took off this counterweight thing, and that was just simply held in with 2 17mm nuts there. And yeah, this weight is welded to this rod, and that came right off. The ECU was actually attached to the battery tray. So I was saying earlier that there's a separate shield. I'll show you the cover that we put on, but the ECU is actually attached to the battery tray. So all you have to do is disconnect the 2 ECU plugs, and then there's 3 10mm bolts to get the battery tray out. So I got the battery installed, and then 2 10mm bolts or nuts for the battery hold down. Then yeah, this is that little ECU cover that I took off, and that just slid right on. Tabs, there's little holes for the tabs on the side of the cover. And then there's actually a little, I took this off earlier, probably not 100% necessary, but I did. And this is just a little tray that slid on the left side of your battery tray. And the last piece of the puzzle is this little air funnel thing. My guess is to keep the battery cool. Anyway, it like slid in the little thing here, and it just kind of notched into the battery cover there. And that just kind of sits in place as is. So now that we have the TCM and the battery installed, let's take her for a drive and see if it's working properly. Oh, she's working all right. I could tell immediately that is working because I wanted to reverse, which it was not doing before. And it's shifting smoothly. I'll show you in a second here. And for those of you wondering, you do not need to program the TCM when you install it. It's simply plug and play. It's literally been like 30 seconds or a minute since I recorded the last clip where I installed it. All I did was plug it in and drive it down the block, and I know it's working. So I'm going to show you here. Shifts to second, third. Before, like I said, the gear indicator was flashing, and sometimes it showed what gear it was in, sometimes it didn't, and reverse didn't work at all. Give her a bit of beans here. Nice smooth shift to third, goes right into fourth. One more time. Right up to fifth gear. All right, you guys, that is my video on how I fixed the TCM on my stepdad's car for the second time. I know there's a lot of information out there about these things, but it seems like such a common failure. I wanted to get a video to show the exact symptoms I had and that it's possible to fail 2 times within practically 1 year. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.